Yeah, Jakey Jake.
Jack. I love this guy so much. I'm a Gyllenhaalic.
Let's get started. Hello, I am Sam.
And I'm in.
And we welcome you to the latest episode of One Credit After Another, a show where we dive into the career of a filmmaker or actor and their latest project. I wish I knew how to quit you. Has anyone ever said that to you, ever, in life?
All the time.
Yeah?
Yeah. Literally everyone I've ever worked with.
Oh, fair. Jake Gyllenhaal gives a helping hand to his sister and director Maggie Gyllenhaal in the upcoming The Bride. I have to say that every time because it's got an exclamation point at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. The film is inspired by the film The Bride of Frankenstein, which itself is based on the iconic Mary Shelley novel Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus. Didn't know that until I wrote this up.
Okay.
That is actually the full name of Frankenstein. The Bride has a release date on the 6th of March and has no reviews as of this recording. Ian, where do you rank Jake Gyllenhaal in the pantheon of leading men of the 21st century? And can you think of another sister-brother collaboration like this one?
Sister-brother.
Well, you see what I did there?
Jake Gyllenhaal. Hugely high up in my pantheon of leading men.
But will that be maintained by the end of this podcast based on the 2020s?
No. But his career is so strong in the 2010s.
Oh my God.
It will be around for a long time. And I think he just needs to pick a couple of good stuff and then we'll be back on track again. So yes, definitely very, very high up. It's very high up on my pantheon of leading men. And we'll say that with a wink.
Who is he competing with for the title?
I mean, I've always held DiCaprio up in quite high regard.
McConaughey at one point?
No. Funnily enough, with the reconnaissance, I always thought that was I thought it was really interesting because I think it finally enabled him to break free of a lot of the terrible stuff. He's an interesting test subject though because I recently did a McConathon. Not a reconnaissance, we did a McConathon, which was basically just a complete marathon of all McConaughey films. So, and I literally went out and we bought every single one of them. Like, I've got some really random stuff sitting in my collection now because of this McConathon. It's going to be the way I consume movies from now on by actor. And he's a good screen presence, and the McConaissance is absolutely incredible. But I wouldn't turn around and say, oh yeah, he's definitely up there as like one of my favourite actors of all time. Definitely not.
Okay.
Because he had a really good window. It's the same as Henry Cavill, right? He's had a really good window of some stuff, but then
weirdly, they're all about the same time. Everyone we just mentioned, like their peak is kind of early to mid 2010s.
Yeah,
ish.
Yeah,
and I can't think of another collaboration like this.
Sister-brother collaboration.
Where the sister is the director and they get the very famous brother to take part in their project.
No. Well, Maggie Gyllenhaal's an interesting case anyway because there's not many female directors that come from the acting background.
No.
She's definitely followed in her dad's footsteps.
Yes, which we will get to momentarily.
Absolutely. Because they're a very famous, let's say, movie family, right? I don't think, we can't really say that his parents are overly famous because I think the Gyllenhaal siblings have managed to break through to much higher echelons.
We will get into this on the dirtiest of the Derns.
The dirtiest of the Dern, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, in terms of collaborations, yeah, who else would you have? Is there anyone?
I can only think that Jane Fonda did something with Peter Fonda at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Something not quite of this level.
Yeah. Jane Fonda directed it.
No, I just see something like Jane Fonda produce something and Peter Fonda was in it
as well. You have the Derns as well, don't you?
Well, they've
done stuff together.
I mean, this is funny bringing this up now, but if I could just interject here, I think we did a deep dive 5 on Laura Dern, and we said that they never did a collaboration, Bruce or Laura Dern. It turned out they did.
Oh yeah.
I found this out after. I mean, we probably should have mentioned this 6 months ago, but they actually did work. They worked on a TV show, I think.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, that's that done. But yeah, I think this is kind of unheard of in a way.
It's unique, isn't it?
Yeah. So, the backstory. Born and raised in Los Angeles, California, LA.
Land.
The land of angels.
Absolutely.
Jake Gyllenhaal is the son of director Stephen Gyllenhaal and screenwriter Naomi Gyllenhaal, and as mentioned earlier, the brother of Maggie Gyllenhaal, who herself became an actress and now a director. Exposed to filmmaking from an early age due to his family connections to the industry, Jake Gyllenhaal made his film debut in the comedy City Slickers in 1991 at the age of just 10. The rest of the 90s saw him appear in the films A Dangerous Woman and Homegrown, both directed by his father, before his breakthrough as an actor in 1999's October Sky. In 2001, Jake Gyllenhaal starred in the cult classic Donnie Darko, which established him as an exciting talent for the future. The film itself is now considered one of the best independent films of all time and a classic of the 2000s. Over the next few years, Gyllenhaal played supporting roles in the successful Lovely and Amazing and The Good Girl. 2005 saw Gyllenhaal reach new heights with the acclaimed film Brokeback Mountain. Starring alongside Heath Ledger, Gyllenhaal gained his first Oscar nomination as Best Supporting Actor for his performance in the film.
Is that his only Oscar nomination?
Nightcrawler, I think. Oh no, he didn't get nominated, did he?
He got nominated for it. I think it's his only nomination, you know.
Gyllenhaal continued his success in the 2000s with a starring role in the highly successful Zodiac, which was directed by David Fincher.
Lovely.
The 2010s started with Gyllenhaal starring in the romantic comedy drama Love and Other Drugs opposite Anne Hathaway before embarking on a highly successful run of films. These include Source Code, End of Watch, Prisoners and Nightcrawler. This collection of films solidified Gyllenhaal's status as an A-list Hollywood actor. Despite the critical and commercial disaster of 2015's Accidental Love, Gyllenhaal's form continued in the 2010s with Nocturnal Animals, Stronger, Wildlife, Okja? The Sisters, Brothers, and finally, Spider-Man Far From Home, which saw Gyllenhaal enter the MCU and a huge franchise for the very first time.
Yeah.
The 2020s has seen a decline in success for Gyllenhaal, but he has received praise for his performances in Michael Bay's Ambulance and Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. When I wrote that, it just made me laugh. It just sounds like Michael Bay's Ambulance.
Yeah.
In 2026, he will appear in the previously mentioned The Bride and is re-teaming with Guy Ritchie for the film In the Grey, which, can I just say, is possibly the most boring film title I've heard in a long time.
What, more boring than just grey?
In the Grey.
Is this like not superhero, but like spy thing that he's doing with Netflix?
Oh, In the Grey?
Yeah.
Not that I've heard of, but it's part of Guy Ritchie's kind of like avalanche of straight to Prime. Streaming service stuff.
Great. So that means then Gyllenhaal is also straight to Prime because he also did Roadhouse, which went straight to Prime.
Yes.
So he must be doing a lot of stuff. I wonder if he's got a contract with MGM at the moment then. I wonder if that might be why he's doing a lot of straight, because that's why Roadhouse was meant to get a cinema release, wasn't it? And then they went, nah, this isn't good enough, because Doug Liman was like, please put it in cinemas. And they went, no. Amazon was like, no, this is not getting a cinema release. So what do you think? What do you think of his film catalogue? You asked me this at the very beginning, but I didn't ask you. Are you a fan of Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
Good.
I love Donnie Darko.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of The Day After Tomorrow. It was like a big sort of like blockbuster film when I was a child.
Okay.
I like the Dennis Quaid, Jake Gyllenhaal. I think as a kid I thought they look so alike. I could absolutely believe they're father and son. We need to do that. Should be a category one day, like films where the father and son is like like in real life.
Yeah, but I mean,
I was a big fan.
I was going to say that's good, and actually, you've raised a really good film to start off with, because we're going to now talk like a deep dive into Jake Gyllenhaal's film career, aren't we?
Yes.
We're going to have to see what he's in. The reason why I say it's an interesting transition into that is I think while he was in Donnie Darko, I think The Day After Tomorrow was such a big hit that was the next step in his star-making journey. Because he'd done movies between Donnie Darko and then The Day After Tomorrow. But he's got a very interesting 2000s in which you can very much see where the films fall out to mark his steps to superstardom. You know?
Yeah, having done our research on this podcast, in my head, always thought Gyllenhaal was a huge star, even around the day after, not the day after tomorrow.
Mm.
But no, it wasn't.
no.
It was really. I would say it was from Source Code, where he kind of really established himself as like a leading man.
I think, well, probably as a leading man. I think that's a different conversation to actually starting to become.
But becoming
well-known.
a recognised. I mean, Donnie Darko was huge.
Donnie
when I was a
Darko was
kid.
huge, yeah. And I do think that, I mean, there's a couple of, arguably they say that October Sky is kind of his first, where people started to notice who he was.
Yeah.
Then you got Donnie Darko, where he just kind of blasts out on the scene.
Donnie Darko is so unique,
so unique,
so weird.
Still to this day, it's so unique and weird.
Wake up.
Yeah. And then you got Day After Tomorrow. Then you have a very, very long break until then Brokeback Mountain, which is his next step. And I think then by probably Brokeback was then where I would say that's where he's then more of a famous face. He's very recognisable. Because then you go into Jarhead.
Which was a big film.
It was a huge film.
The reviews probably wouldn't paint a picture of how big that film was when it came out.
Jarhead was really annoying. I remember I saw that in the cinema. I saw Jarhead in the cinema, yeah. Because I was a fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. That's when, I suppose that's it. As I started watching films and started getting into films, particularly in the early 2000s, was at the same time that Gyllenhaal was starting to rise.
Jakey was part of your journey.
Yeah. So, like, I remember this. And Jarhead was...
This is the Iraq War, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this must be one of the first films based on the conflict.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was really... I remember it being really intense.
Yeah, it's a horribly depressing film.
Yeah, horribly depressing. Because it really sets up PTSD in a way that's just quite harrowing.
Yeah.
But do you remember Paul Greengrass did Green Zone?
I do remember that film coming out.
Do you remember that was really annoying?
No,
Because the camera didn't stop moving in any way, shape or form. It just kept going. This felt very similar in as much as kind of the set pieces. It was weird in that weird transition stage where this was very much a film from the mid to late 2000s. But it's also a movie that's trying so hard to be like Full Metal Jacket.
Yes, that's the vibe.
It's just this really weird dichotomy where it's trying to bring Full Metal Jacket into the ethos a little bit more, Yeah, and so then you end up in this weird kind of uncomfortable position. I didn't love it. That was definitely one of the things I came out of Jarhead going, I didn't love this. Because I think I found it like a bit, it was a little bit, there was just something that just didn't quite get under my skin,
Yeah.
As it probably should have done. But that's then when you're talking about like leading man material.
Yeah.
Like I think Jarhead is at that stage for me where you kind of go, oh, okay, I'm going to stand up and pay attention to this guy. I think it happened way before, but I think this is when you could start to say, this guy can carry a film. He's got some weird other movies in between, though. Zodiac. I mean,
classic.
It's so good. I think that might be one of his best. But then we go into a really weird run of rendition brothers, Prince of Persia, Love and Other Drugs.
I saw Prince of Persia at the cinema. Had a great time. Had no idea what I was walking into, but I like Jake Gyllenhaal, so I was like, oh,
okay.
I can get. It's a video game adaptation.
Yeah, and then obviously, then we go into just the beginning of arguably one of the best runs of cinema I think I've ever seen. Source Code, still one of the most underrated movies in existence.
Yeah, saw this at the cinema.
Duncan Jones. If you saw Warcraft and didn't like it, give Duncan Jones a go with Source Code.
Duncan Jones is very interesting.
Isn't he?
Talk about. I mean, Duncan Jones is the son of David Bowie.
Yeah.
But he made Moon
then
Moon. Source Code.
Some serious double hits. And then made Warcraft. What was that about?
And then just one of those sort of like weird directors that shot out the cannon and then hit the wall.
Yep. David Ayer's End of Watch was also 2012, so this was after Source Code. Arguably one of the only good David Ayer movies, which then he's actually gone out of his way to just try and emulate for the rest of his career.
Yes.
To very unsuccessful, might I add. End of Watch is a good movie. It's good fun. It's tense when it needs to be tense, and so on and so forth. Then we go into the absolute two-hander of Denis Villeneuve. Prisoners and Enemy. Prisoners,
Prisoners. It's probably one of his... I mean,
Prisoners is a brilliant film.
Prisoners and then Nightcrawler
Prisoners, yeah, we'll get to Nightcrawler in a
like
second.
is like a
that.
true amazing back to back.
Yeah. Enemy is a really weird movie. Did you see Richard Ayoade's? He did a movie with Jesse Eisenberg, where it was The Double. Did you ever see that?
No.
So that was a kind of Channel 4. I think it was Channel 4 for Film 4 produced. Not David Ayoade, Richard Ayoade. He kind of wrote, directed it, and stuff like that. It's the whole idea of what happens if there's a double of you out there. Enemy's that, but Denis Villeneuve's behind the camera, and it's just a really kind of weird psychological thing. It's nowhere near as good as Prisoners, but it's still a really interesting watch. Then we go into Nightcrawler, which is his first foray with Dan Gilroy, who he'll work with later on for a Netflix movie. And then we go into, we'll ignore Accidental Love for the time being. Some people, I really don't like the movie. In fact, I can't stand the movie. Southpaw. People like Southpaw.
Just by the numbers boxing film.
Yeah.
He got in great... I remember this film coming out and everyone was marvelling at his look.
Yeah. Yeah. Everest, I think it's a decent movie.
I enjoyed Everest.
It was fine. It was good.
One of the most depressing things I've ever seen, but it was like weirdly very entertaining.
Yeah. The reviews don't like the next movie, which is Demolition, but actually I have a real soft spot for Demolition.
I don't think I've seen Demolition.
It's basically a guy who goes nuts and just destroys his life.
Okay.
Which is quite interesting. And then we've got Nocturnal Animals, which...
One of the stranger openings.
Yeah.
Tom Ford, who's actually got a film out this year. It's only his third film after A Single Man and this.
Yeah.
Interesting film. Don't really know if it's got much legs.
Yeah.
Is Michael Shannon in yeah, he's really good in this, Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Odd film.
Then we have that weird movie Life, but still a big draw at this point.
Great.
This was Jake Gyllenhaal and
Rebecca
Ryan
Ferguson,
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
There was a huge... This wasn't the one... No, it's not.
This is basically an Alien rip-off.
Yes.
But it does have an ending that will stick with you.
Yep. Well, it has an ending that sticks with you, but at this moment in time, I can't remember the ending. So it doesn't really stick with me.
Really?
Can't remember the ending at all.
Oh, it's
I remember
amazing.
watching it and just think,
Really?
Yeah, for some reason.
Okay.
But I bet, like, if you tell me, I would probably go, oh yeah, actually that was interesting. But for some reason I just go... Because I always get this mixed up with the Cloverfield movie that got released during the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Netflix
the Paradox Cloverfield
Yeah.
film. Oh, okay.
And then we have we had a bit of a lull there, but then we kick back up again with Okja, which was pretty much the first Netflix success, at least from an award standpoint. Boon Joon-ho.
Yep.
Then we go into Wildlife, which is
made by the criminally overrated Paul Dano.
Paul Dano,
Quentin Tarantino.
According to Dano. And then The Sisters Brothers, which I absolutely love.
I've seen it once, enjoyed it. If I watched it now, I'd probably love it.
Yeah.
You know, when you look back on a film, you're like, that film should tick so much more boxes. Maybe I was on my phone when I watched it.
I saw that in the cinema. I loved it. It was just an all-engrossing Western that was in the cinema.
When is John C. Reilly going to make more films like this?
Don't know, right? And then we have a bit of a weird one. So Velvet Buzzsaw, which I'm not sure if we'll talk about in much more detail. Really weird art movie that Dan Gilroy got a lot of money from Netflix to make, so he took advantage of that, even though the film wasn't that great. And then we have, as you mentioned, the Spider-Man movies, which kind of wraps up his 2020s. But holy cow, 2010s. But holy cow, what a run!
What a run! Did we talk about Nightcrawler in depth?
We haven't talked about a lot of stuff in depth. We've kind of just ran through basically 20 years worth of movies. But I'm happy to cycle back to Donnie Darko, Day After Tomorrow, Brokeback Mountain, Jarhead, Zodiac. We haven't spoken about in much detail about. Source Code, we obviously spoke a little bit about, but I'm happy to talk about any of the films in the 2010s. So whatever you want to go back to, my friend, I'm happy to go back to.
Well, Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko.
One of the most original films of its time.
Still is.
25 years old
Still
this
is.
year, which is kind of crazy.
Good two-handed with Ghostwire.
This is probably, when I think of... This is a film that should have so much more of an impact at Halloween. So much more than it does.
I think it's much more than a Halloween movie, though. I don't
know,
see it as a horror movie.
where is that bunny? Where is that bunny on the streets? Why do I have to be the bunny?
Well, because it's not... It's
6
both,
hours.
But they twist it, don't they? So that actually the bunny's actually quite a sympathetic character.
Yes.
So I think that's why
brilliant.
it doesn't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't overdo it with its like themes,
Yeah.
like all the time, virtual reality, the stuff with the play, the music. Noah Wiley's in it, who's now huge again because of The Pit.
Oh yeah.
It's got a really good cast, really dark,
Yeah.
really sinister,
Do you
really
reckon
funny.
this paved? I was going to say, do you reckon this paved the way for things like We Need to Talk About Kevin?
Oh, it was. Yeah, this is hugely influential on many films in very varied ways.
Yeah.
But the director's interesting, Richard Kelly, because he hasn't really done
Anything
proper
at all?
like one-hit wonder. But it was. I think definitely how I remembered my first Jake Gyllenhaal experience with this film.
Yeah.
And yeah, loved it. Really unique, and they're talking about doing a sequel. For the love of God, don't. But we'll see.
Okay.
Standout, probably the standout film from the 2000s for me. I absolutely love his run in the early to mid 2010s. Brokeback Mountain,
I've never seen Brokeback.
I watched it for the first time during COVID. It's fantastic. I do have a slight issue with Jake Gyllenhaal getting Best Supporting Actor when he is in it. I mean, Heath Ledger is, in essence, the main character, but Jake Gyllenhaal is in it a lot. I wouldn't. It's
That's
not
what
quite.
they went for,
It's
though,
not.
wasn't
It's not quite a Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter thing where he's in that Silence of the Lambs for about 7 minutes and wins Best Actor.
Yeah, but you don't want, from a production standpoint, you don't want two of your lead actors competing for the same award.
But it's a very, very unique film.
Oh, absolutely.
For its
But
time.
this is
And
like,
I think-
this is
I
just
think
the
something like
Oscar
this-
buzz, isn't it? It's awards contendership and stuff like that, isn't it?
I think Jake Gyllenhaal's better than Heath Ledger in this film.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's people denying that.
Just saying. You know?
But I think we're expecting a lot from the Oscars and awards where it's like, well, you kind of people apply to this for specific Oscars.
I know this is hitting.
So-
I know this is like hitting a dead cat at this point, but how did this film not win over Crash? It's an absolute.
know.
It's an absolute travesty.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, as I say, I haven't actually seen it, but the fact that Crash won is just like, what?
Yeah, but it's just. I mean, it's crazy because I know, obviously it was a different time, but that Crash is so appalling. Like it doesn't. That film has like the most grotesque scenes in it.
Yep.
Like, and that one, don't get it.
No, I don't think anyone got it. That is that's gone down, isn't it? It's one of the biggest like Oscar
Yeah.
question marks of all time. So
Yeah, Brokeback Mountain there's so much going on because it goes on for decades basically in the film.
Yeah.
It's basically like this love story that goes over like 20 years
Okay.
ish. And yeah, brilliant film.
Okay.
The line I said at the start of the podcast is from it.
oh, okay. Well, that's probably why I didn't get it. That's why you heard me sit in silence. Although a lot of the beginning of our podcast is me sitting in silence, where I can't quite work out what you
I
said.
wish I knew how to quit you.
Oh,
It's a very
okay,
it's a very emotional scene in the film.
okay.
It's a brilliant film.
Zodiac.
Zodiac. Ooh. Would you say that this is David Fincher's last truly fantastic film? I love Gone Girl. I will defend Gone Girl.
I absolutely adore Gone Girl.
But I think this film is kind of like pure David Fincher.
I don't know. I think Gone Girl's pure Fincher.
I don't know if Gone Girl is universally loved. His recent couple of Netflix films aren't. I don't think Gone Girl is...
I mean, what did he do for Netflix? So he's done Mank, which was obviously a passion project. And he did that Fassbender movie, didn't he, about the hitman?
The Killer.
Which was...
I think a lot of people would have Seven, Fight Club, and Zodiac as like the three treasure troves of his career.
Okay. I think though Zodiac is sometimes a little bit hit and miss with people.
Do you think?
Well, it's so long. It's so long. And, I mean, spoiler alert, it doesn't really have an ending. So...
But that's the point.
But I know, but that's what I mean. I think to a lot of people, you would see it as that's the point. But there's also a lot of people that just say, but I didn't get the point.
I loved that.
Do you know what I mean?
I loved the fact that it's very much of real life,
Yeah.
where sometimes these horrible situations just can't get resolved.
Yeah.
It's too complicated.
I mean, if you're talking about Fincher, I think you need to watch Mindhunter.
Ooh, I've not seen Mindhunter.
Mindhunter. Do you know this whole Netflix thing where they just cancel stuff that doesn't get eyes on it?
Yeah.
Mindhunter is hands down the reason why that shouldn't be a thing.
Okay.
It is honestly so good. Mindhunter is brilliant.
Yeah, but they have algorithms.
And Jonathan Groff in it is so good. Or Jonathan Groff. the guy who's in like Frozen and Hamilton and stuff like that.
Okay.
He's so good, so good. Honestly, you have to watch Mindhunter.
But is Jake Gyllenhaal good in Zodiac?
He is. He's part of an ensemble cast that all absolutely knock it out of the park.
What a cast! Also, another ER reference. Anthony Edwards is in this film.
Oh,
He
okay.
plays the detective.
I personally think that we didn't see an ensemble cast and like this until Spotlight.
American Hustle.
I didn't like American Hustle.
Yeah, but it's a big ensemble cast.
Yeah, I know, but
it's successful.
To me, like a successful.
Oh, okay.
ensemble cast. Like that had this much chemistry, that were enjoyable to watch on screen, that all literally had a line that would just. It's just such a good ensemble cast.
Okay. Should we look at this golden run of 2011 to 2014?
Yes.
Where he did Source Code, End of Watch, Prisoners, Enemy, and Nightcrawler.
Mad.
More specifically, can we please go deep into Nightcrawler now?
Yeah, let's talk about Nightcrawler, because we've kind of touched upon Source Code, End of Watch, and Prisoners and Enemy. I could talk about Prisoners for literally days, but I think if we, it's probably best to avoid that until we do what will be a Denis Villeneuve episode of One Credit when June 3 comes out. So let's on Nightcrawler.
I have three things about Nightcrawler. It's the greatest film Michael Mann never made. Jake Gyllenhaal was not nominated for an Oscar for this film, which I remember our mutual friend Joe almost crying about.
Okay.
And third, it has Bill Paxton in it. And it's one of his last big films.
Yep.
He had such an amazing 2014, Bill Paxton, with this and Edge of Tomorrow. And every time I watch him in it, I'm like, we should have got more films where he does this, where he's just like that really interesting supporting character that like lights up a film.
Yeah.
Does a lot of exposition. Yeah. But I think as we're doing a Jake Gyllenhaal podcast, the performance is like sublime.
Yeah.
The film is great. Yeah, I would say this is probably the peak film for him in terms of him.
Yeah. This is quite transformative, isn't it? It allows him to be much more than everyone has kind of seen him up to this point. It's such an unhinged, weird character.
Lost a lot of weight.
It's like a proper method actor's film, isn't it? And I don't think Gyllenhaal ever he doesn't associate himself as a method actor. So,
no.
But it's an opportunity for him to completely transform for a role.
Well, I suppose he did Nightcrawler and then Southpaw, which is obviously like probably the closest thing we've come to him being transformative.
That's what you were saying about earlier on, right? It's a hugely transformative film to go from. I mean, he must have packed on so much weight for that.
Yeah, he basically did Christian Bale between The Machinist and Batman.
Yeah, insane. But no, Nightcrawler is a really special movie. Yeah. I actually don't think it gets spoken about enough now. I think it's in a weird way. I think people love it, but I don't think it's part of the conversation as much now. Particularly if you're talking about thrillers and stuff like that. Like, you know, people will be much more quick to bring up, say, something like Drive than they would be to bring up Nightcrawler. And I only say that because obviously both films have cars quite prevalent.
But it's one of those films where everyone is sublime. Like Riz Ahmed is fantastic. Yeah. He puts on one of the best American accents I've ever seen from a non-American.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Rena Rousseau is really good, who's the wife of Dan Gilroy, very famous in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
It's just an all-round great little gem of a film.
Brilliant film.
And now should we talk about Southpaw? Your favourite film?
Not for very long. Not for very long, hopefully.
Well, no, we don't have to talk about that, but we do have to talk about another film that came out in 2015, Accidental Love, a film I had not heard of until today.
Yeah.
And there's,
David O. Russell, isn't it?
Yeah, David O. Russell, another director with a fascinating career of highs and lows.
Yeah. You a fan of David O. Russell?
No, he's an arsehole in real life, isn't he?
I don't know what he's like in real life at all, but I don't like his films. So, it's, you know, I honestly.
Oh, you need to look up the production of Three Kings.
Oh, I've heard about I read about the
George
production.
Clooney.
Yeah. Didn't George? Yeah.
And I Love Huckabees. He basically, there's a recording of him being bordering on abusive to his like producer. Yeah, he's just a bit of a knob.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll save his humiliation for later because we've got a lot to talk about that film in our next segment.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Wildlife, made by the incredibly untalented Paul Dano.
Apparently.
Spider-Man, Far From Home.
Yes.
That is basically the end of his great run. A film where I think he's really good, but
Absolutely choose the scenery.
then he is in like one of the worst scenes of like the MCU where his entire character is just basically like told to us by him.
Yeah.
And I hate
it's an exposition dump.
I hate scenes like that. It kind of they kind of kill films. Can I just have a small rant about a recent film that's got a lot of Oscar nominations?
Yeah.
Do you know Hamnet?
Yeah.
So I watched Hamnet. It's a good film. I don't think it's fantastic. The last 20 minutes is absolutely mind-blowing. But the film opens with a little cut title card saying Hamlet and Hamnet were basically the same name during this era of England. And I fucking hate stuff like that. Show it in the film. Don't like just throw it out there straight away, like insulting everyone's intelligence. Like establish it in the film at some point.
Yeah.
Because that Hamlet is based on Shakespeare's son Hamlet.
Yeah.
And I hate stuff like that. And it's different to what happens in Spider-Man. Which home is this?
Far From.
Far From Home. But yeah, exposition. Just do.
Which home is this one? Lost from home.
Yeah. Yeah, Stu. Anyway, that's my rant done. But
So-
no, it's a perfectly entertaining film. I do feel a bit sorry for Jake Gyllenhaal because there is like this hangover feeling about this film because it's after Endgame, so it's kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
Which is this the film that killed his ego, and is that why he's lost faith and just does direct to streaming?
Honestly,
stuff?
potentially, because he has a really weird role in this movie as well. Because obviously, I know what scene you're talking about. It's the bit where all of a sudden everything comes
He's in
up
the
and it's just
bar.
like, see, now I love that scene.
Oh, I hated
I
it.
love that scene because
I
feels like-
hate Tony Stark because of this.
So, actually, I'm not sure if is it the bar scene because it's where he's really serious, and then he realizes, and then it shows the whole production behind him.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So that I really love that scene because he physically changes as an actor. He goes from being like a superhero to just like I'm basically what I imagine Chris Evans is like in real life. Do you know what I mean? It's like kind of like that proper, just like laid back Boston character. Like I just feel like, and you see like a physical transformation in who he is.
Yeah.
And then that whole, you kind of need that exposition because there is like an element of like shell shock to, hold on, I thought this guy was the hero, right? But I like that. I liked that. But I think you're right. As we start to then go into the 2020s,
I mean, look at the film
it's a bit
titles.
of a weird one.
We've got The Guilty, we've got Ambulance,
Which is a Netflix movie.
The Covenant. They all sound very like sad. Maybe he had a hand in all the titles. Maybe I was guilty of doing Spider-Man.
So
The Ambulance.
Guilty was a weird one because when we were doing the research for this, I was like, "What's Guilty?" And I clicked into it. I was like, "I've definitely seen this. I've definitely seen this." It's kind of a bit like Halle Berry did a movie in like the mid 2010s called The Call. Did you ever see that?
No idea.
This is basically The Call, but starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
This is a remake of something, and from all the reviews I saw, it was a successful film.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
it's fine. It's absolutely fine. But again, hugely forgettable because you're watching it at home.
Yeah. I will throw something else out there. So we're both in agreement that the 2020s for Jake Gyllenhaal is a bit of a mixed bag.
Almost to the point where I'm starting to be worried about his career.
Okay. Can I put it in a slightly more positive direction?
Please.
He's in a Michael Bay film that wasn't terrible.
Okay.
Is
Looks
that
terrible though.
is that not a success?
I must admit I didn't see Ambulance.
We're talking about Ambulance. Yeah.
This was 2021. This was height of COVID.
22, I think.
This is 22.
22.
Wow. This was. I remember
Guilty
this ended
was
up getting
21, I think.
switched because I think they planned for this to be a cinema release, and then they went because it's quite a heavy action Michael Bay movie with
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal in it. Like
It's the best
It kind of feels like something that's going to earn money.
It's the best reviewed Michael Bay film I think ever.
Wow, that is
I think even
shocking.
The previous one was The Rock.
Oh, okay.
That got like, I don't know, like 65%.
Okay.
And this one's got like 66.
Okay.
Not that those mean a great deal.
It's just I do
But,
remember
yeah.
it. Actually, I think it did get cinema release, but I think it ended up on streaming. I remember it being on Amazon for a very long time.
Have you seen The Covenant?
No, but I did read something interesting about The Covenant today because I didn't even know this film existed until today. Till I was researching this, didn't know it existed, and there's something going on that's really weird about it, in that it might be just disappearing from streaming services soon and not expected to return.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I don't know if I've read the headline wrong or something like that, but there's something going on with the Covenant and its streaming situation.
I'm beginning to think that this Guy Ritchie streaming deal is a scam.
I'm beginning to think he's getting paid a lot of money from Amazon.
Yeah, but he's scamming us.
He's scamming everyone.
Something's going on here.
This is like when he released, during COVID, Guy Ritchie released 2 movies that were exactly the same. Literally exactly the same. He had a Jason Statham only movie, and then he had a Jason Statham ensemble movie that came out, and they were the same movie. I watched the trailers back to back to back, and I could not discernibly tell what the difference was going to be, and they released within about 3 months of each other. It was bad. But you're right. Is he a scam artist?
Possibly.
Potentially.
It's a fine film. Yeah, I didn't love it. I mean, it's one
You
of
watched The Covenant?
Yeah. I watched it years ago.
Did it get a cinema release?
No, I watched it on Prime.
Okay.
It's fine. It's not like it's. You could kind of see it as a weird sequel to Jarhead, in a weird way. I don't think it really works with Guy Ritchie. Jake Gyllenhaal's pretty good in it, but it just has that streaming vibe where it just doesn't have that oomph.
Yeah.
I have not seen Roadhouse. I don't know how much you wanted to go into that. I've just seen Conor McGregor acting from it.
No, I'll tell you what, though, it made me laugh, though, because I think I can't remember if it was One Credit or the last time we did like such a ranker, and we spoke about how Doug Liman literally manages to escape any movie he's ever directed or been a part of. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, no one knows that he did Edge of Tomorrow. No one definitely knows he didn't do the first Bourne movie. Now, this kind of feels like another movie that he's just escaped.
Doug Liman will be fine.
So this was a weird movie, because I remember at the time them being like, no, this is going to get cinema release. And then it was like, no, it's not. And then yes, it is. No, it's not. And then Doug Liman came out and was just like, I'm going to try and see if I can do a Snyder Cut version of this to try and get it in cinemas or something like that. It just didn't happen. So I don't know if it's left like a bit of a sour taste, but there's a Roadhouse 2 coming out. So
Must have done well enough.
Must have done well enough.
Yeah.
Must have got enough streaming eyes on it.
We now go on to questions regarding the career of Jake.
Let's do it.
Best and worst Empire review.
Oh,
What we thinking for best?
That's a great shout. It's either got to be Brokeback or potentially Prisoners, or Everyone Seems to Love Spider-Man, weirdly, or Okja.
So we have
Or Nightcrawler.
We have 3 films, 5 stars.
Okay, it's from Empire, yeah.
Yeah, can you name the 3 films?
Oh, this is good, right? And truth be told, I've got a list of movies in front of me, so I'm gonna.
No, you can't look. You just have to guess.
Guess.
You can't even look at the films.
Okay. I'm gonna say. This is a bit of a spanner. 3 5-star movies.
3 5 stars.
I'm gonna say Zodiac, Prisoners, and Nightcrawler.
You only got one of them.
No.
So we got Donnie Darko.
Okay.
5 stars.
Okay, fair enough.
Brokeback Mountain. 5 stars.
Okay. Cool.
And Nightcrawler.
Okay, cool.
5 stars.
Okay.
Any clue what is the worst?
The David O. Russell movie.
Correct. Accidental Love.
It's supposed to be like one of the worst things ever made.
1 star.
1 star?
1 star.
I mean, I don't like the guy, but I mean, the guy's not a 1-star director.
The closest we've got to that is A Dangerous Woman, directed by his father, Stephen Gyllenhaal. 2 stars in 1993,
Wow.
but he was about 12, so I can't blame him for that.
His dad's movies have no Metascores. They just don't.
Well,
exist.
he's made 3 or 4 films and none of them are positive.
No.
So yeah, that is the list there. Career trends. So I put gritty films grounded in reality, but plays around with science fiction from time to time.
Yeah, I think that sums it up. Kind of sums it up.
Like he does Brokeback Mountain, he does, but yeah, for every Brokeback Mountain, there's a little Donnie Darko moment.
Yeah.
For every Zodiac, there's a source code. For every Nightcrawler, there's a life.
Yeah.
He hasn't done a lot of romantic films in terms where he is like the co-lead. He's been in romantic films where he's kind of supporting, particularly early on in his career. But yeah, Love and Other Drugs, which is comedy drama more than
actually it's good fun.
comedy.
Love and Other Drugs actually sits there as one of the better movies in that ilk.
Yeah. Does the actor's career live up to Adam Sandler's?
Oh, yes.
I think so.
Yes, I think so. Does it live up to Natalie Portman's?
Yes. Jake, I'll tell you what though, Jake Gyllenhaal, I would like to see his Uncut Gems.
Yes.
That'd be, particularly after Nightcrawler.
After Nightcrawler,
that'd be
and that
good
mirror
fun.
scene, that'd be good fun.
Right, most collaborated person. Who do you reckon?
This is really interesting because he's actually collaborated a lot with directors. He seems to do a lot of twos, particularly if he's doing Guy Ritchie as well. He's done a lot because Guy Ritchie will be second, like when he with that one that's coming out next year or whatever you said it was.
This is where it gets tricky.
Okay.
Are we when we do this? Are we literally basing it on everything that's been released, or do we include what's about to be released?
Yeah, I reckon if it's got a trailer and it's got a release date, then yeah, you can put it in. But if it's a project that he's just been signed up to, no.
It's Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Is he really?
Yeah. So he did Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
A Dangerous Woman, I think, the aforementioned
Stephen
Gyllenhaal film.
That's a family affair,
and The Bride.
Oh, nice.
So
that'll be three.
He's done a lot of twos. Denis Villeneuve, Guy Ritchie. There was someone else on that list whose name now escapes me. But yeah, Maggie Gyllenhaal is
Dan Gilroy.
Dan Gilroy is the most collaborated person. Biggest box office success and flop according to IMDb. What are we going for with success?
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
You are correct. We have Spider-Man 1.1 billion.
That's not a transition noise, by the way. That's just wow.
Lowest grossing.
Accidental Love.
Love.
Is it really?
It is.
What, worse than his dad's films?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Dangerous Woman. Is that what the film's called? Dangerous Woman.
Yeah.
That made like $7 million. Guess how much Accidental Love made?
Go for it.
$139,000.
No.
It got utterly canned and like just they tried to throw it in the bin. And to be fair, they did a successful job because I had never heard of this film until today.
Wow.
So
okay.
yeah, that is that one. If they were making a film about Jake Gyllenhaal, who would play them?
Oh.
Do you know who I've got?
Who?
Peter Sarsgaard.
Lol. Why?
They look alike. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I looked up that man's face today, and I beg the listeners and viewers to also do this.
Okay.
They look like the same person. They've got the same face. Okay. I think Maggie Gyllenhaal has married her brother.
Okay, cool.
So I think, fuck it. Have Sarsgaard play Gyllenhaal.
I don't know what to say with that. This is like, okay, let's do it. I don't really know. Jacob Elordi, because he can play everyone.
Nah, Jacob Elordi's
way too tall.
Far too tall.
But, I mean, if you kneecapped him, then he'd be all right.
Sarsgaard, why are you not going along with this?
Because it's weird. He's also, like, his elder?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're weird. They're a strange family, obviously.
Okay.
Did you see The Lost Daughter?
Actually, I'll tell you who I would probably play. I would probably put who's our lad who was in Send Help?
Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien. I think Dylan O'Brien would be a good Jake Gyllenhaal.
Possibly.
They've got the same sunken eye. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't.
If you were to give them black eyes, I think they'd look fairly similar.
Okay. I kind of see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Could the actor have could the actor have done a better job than Tom Hardy in Locke? Now, again, based on Nightcrawler, I think this is probably the most interesting
comparison yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't personally think it could be as good as Tom Hardy.
No, I don't think. I think it potentially might lack the subtlety.
He could bring the grittiness.
Yeah.
But I think Tom Hardy... A lot of the film is his relationship with his employee, and I think Tom Hardy does a better job of doing that kind of thing than I think Jake Gyllenhaal could.
I think Locke has to have a natural charm about him, which I don't think.
You don't think Jake Gyllenhaal could do that?
I think he's a bit of a colder actor.
Really?
Yeah, like in terms of, I think he does keep things at a bit of an arm's length because I think that's where he gets a lot of his depth from his characters.
Okay.
So say it's very hard to be like, oh yeah, that's a really charming character that he's played, because he always plays like kind of slightly unhinged, slightly darker characters in a lot of stuff that he does. I don't think that's a negative about him as an actor, but I think the charm that you have to have as Locke, you have to like Locke.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You have to like him.
Yeah,
And I think
you have to
I
have an
think that
element of
Gyllenhaal-
sympathy
Yeah.
because he does a lot of
and I
bad
think
things
that's
in the
where
film.
he might struggle. But it would be a really interesting watch.
Should we get them on
Because
the
I'd
pod?
like to see a Gyllenhaal Bane.
Should we get should we get them on the pod and like just have
a
them
chat.
fight it out?
Yeah, just do it. We'll read lines from Locke.
Okay.
And we'll get Tom Hardy to read lines from
Right.
Love and Other Drugs.
This is the big question.
Oh, this is the big one.
Is Jake Gyllenhaal the derniest of the Derns? I mean, he is, but
At this moment in time, I would say yes, he is the derniest done. But if Maggie keeps doing well for herself directing, because this isn't her first
no, The Lost
good,
Daughter
good
is.
direction, and The Lost Daughter is a decent film.
Do you think Stephen has a chance in this
And
list?
didn't she also do The Substitute Teacher or something like that? The something teacher. I think she did something to do with that. She was in it. I think she might have directed it. I could be wrong. But she did something like that as well. She's doing well behind the camera.
I will say
Better than a dad.
we have no reviews, but apparently the film, its testing is terrible.
What, The Bride?
Yeah,
Oh dear.
because I think this film was supposed to come out at Halloween. It looks
okay.
It looks very Halloween-y.
I think it looks great. I really hope we don't have a Suicide Squad situation where the trailer looks better than the film.
Well, not that I have Hollywood insiders, but from what I've heard, it's bad.
Oh, okay.
But we'll see. It comes out in a couple of weeks.
Let's talk about The Bride and Jake Gyllenhaal's connection to it. Based on Jake Gyllenhaal alone, is that a good enough reason to go and see The Bride?
Yeah. I mean, I think the film's got plenty of good reasons already, but I think having Gyllenhaal in a film with his sister adds something appealing.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done a cinema release for years from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
What are your feelings towards it?
The Bride?
Overall.
I'm excited for it.
Okay.
I think it looks unique. I don't think there's not a lot out there in cinema that's like that. There's a weird Bonnie and Clyde Frankenstein thing going on with Jessie Buckley.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, I mean, I'd go and see it for Jessie Buckley alone. There is a bit of a whiff of she's probably going to win an Oscar and then do this, which is going to be a paycheck movie. So, which is very common for Oscar movies to then have their flop movies then released straight after what is essentially their Oscar.
I know I
movie.
shat on Hamnet a bit, but Jessie Buckley's very good in it.
Jessie Buckley's good in it.
She'll probably win the Oscar.
So that's kind of a really big thing. So the studio, I think it's Warner Bros. Making this.
Yes.
Or Netflix. They, like, in terms of placement, they're not dumb. They know that Jessie Buckley's going to be on top of the world, probably mid to end, very soon. And all of that buzz is going to lead to more people bums on seats for The Bride, just purely for the fact that it's got an Oscar buzzy person in it.
What's your box office?
What are we
projection?
talking? So this is out March?
6th of March.
6th of March. So is that the weekend of the Oscars now?
Oh, God, I can't remember.
Is that the Friday of the Oscars? I don't really know. But anyway, it's going to be around the Oscars. Do you know what the budget is for this?
I have no information on budget. I don't think it's been released yet.
Okay, I would be surprised if it cracks 100 million.
Me too.
Particularly if it doesn't review well.
I mean, the cast is really good. Christian Bale's always going to be good fun in a film.
Yeah.
Jessie Buckley, obviously, as we've mentioned. Jake Gyllenhaal. I just can't see it. I can't really see people being that bothered by this.
No.
Which is a shame. But, I will certainly see it. And, yeah.
Report back.
It's kind of giving me Joker Folie à Deux vibes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's probably going to be bad. And that is the end of the Gyllenhaal pod of one credit after another. With such a well-respected career so far, where do you see Jake Gyllenhaal's career progressing? What do you rank as his best film?
What do you reckon is his best film, actually? That's a good question.
Performance, Nightcrawler. Overall package... somewhere between Zodiac and Brokeback Mountain.
What about Prisons?
Actually, no. Sorry, I take all that back. It's Donnie Darko.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For both?
For everything, yeah.
Wow.
No, I would say Donnie Darko does everything for me.
Wow.
He's great. Film's great. Unique. I go on about his uniqueness enough, but there is no film like Donnie Darko.
Yeah. Nice.
What about you?
I really like Prisoners. I love Nightcrawler.
I thought you liked Accidental Love. Accidentally walked into that one. Right, thank you.
So did he.
Oh. Well, you got a little bit of money, though.
I hope you'd like to hope so.
Like a tenner.
A tenner.
Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of One Credit After Another. We want to hear your opinions on the career of Jake Gyllenhaal. What would you rank as his career highlight? Goodbye, and we'll see you soon.
See you later.